Welcome to ZenLight 8. Imagine walking into a room where no one notices you, speaking but being ignored, or giving your all just to be dismissed. Sound familiar? The truth is, respect isn't handed out. It's earned, and certain habits are silently sabotaging yours every single day. In this video, we're exposing the 7 deadly habits that are killing your respect and keeping you overlooked. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to break free, command attention, and build the unshakable confidence you deserve. Let's dive in. 1. Being too nice. Imagine this: you're the person everyone turns to. Need a favor? You're there. Extra work piling up? You'll take it on. Someone's got plans they know you don't even like, but they ask anyway, and you still say yes. You've convinced yourself that being the nice guy, the one who's always agreeable, is the golden ticket to earning respect. You think, if I'm nice enough, they'll appreciate me. They'll see my value. But here's the brutal reality. They don't. Instead of admiration, you get taken for granted. Instead of respect, you become a doormat. People don't value you, they use you. And the worst part? You've been doing this to yourself all along without even realizing it. Welcome to the trap of being too nice. It's a silent respect killer, one of the sneakiest habits that erodes how people see you. You might think you're building bridges, but what you're really doing is handing people a free pass to walk all over you. If this sounds familiar, if you've ever felt drained, overlooked, or dismissed despite bending over backwards for others, then stick around. This is your wake-up call. We're diving deep into why being too nice is sabotaging your life, how it's stripping away your respect, and what you can do right now to break free from this cycle. Because here's the truth. Respect isn't a reward for self-sacrifice. It's a byproduct of knowing your worth, the illusion of niceness. Let's start with why this happens. You say yes to everything because you believe it's the right thing to do. You've been taught that kindness is a virtue, that putting others first makes you a good person. And sure, kindness is a strength, don't get me wrong, but there's a razor-thin line between being kind and being a pushover, and most people cross it without even noticing. When you always say yes, even when your gut screams no, you're not just being nice, you're training people to expect it. You're telling them your time, your energy, and your needs don't matter as much as theirs do. Picture this. A coworker asks you to finish a report they were supposed to handle. You're already swamped, but you agree because you don't want to seem selfish. They thank you, maybe, and then a week later they're back with another favor. Then another. Before you know it, you're their go-to fix for every mess they don't want to clean up. Or maybe it's a friend who always calls when they need something. Money, a ride, a shoulder to cry on. But when you're the one in a bind, crickets, silence. They're nowhere to be found. You thought being nice would make them value you, but instead, they've pegged you as the convenience store of people. Always open, always available, and never worth a second thought. Here's the harsh truth. The more you put others before yourself, the more they take you for granted. It's human nature. When something's always there, it stops being special. Think about it. Do you treasure a pen you've got 10 of lying around? Or the one you had to search for because it's rare? People treat you the same way. If you're always saying yes, always bending, always giving, you become that cheap pen, handy, sure, but not valuable. And over time, that lack of value turns into a lack of respect. The cycle of obligation. It starts small. A little favor here, a compromise there. You don't mind at first, it feels good to help, right? But then it snowballs. They ask again, and again. Suddenly, you're trapped in a cycle where saying yes isn't even a choice anymore. It's an obligation. You're not helping because you want to. You're helping because you're afraid of what happens if you don't. What if they get mad? What if they stop liking you? What if they talk behind your back and call you selfish? That fear. It's a chain around your neck, pulling you deeper into a life where your own needs don't even make the list. Let me paint an extreme picture for you. Imagine you've got a friend who's always late. You agree to meet at 6 p.m., but they stroll in at 6:45, no apology, no explanation. You don't say anything, you don't want to rock the boat. Next time, it's 7 p.m., then 7:30. You keep waiting, keep smiling, keep letting it slide because you're nice. But deep down, you're fuming. You're exhausted. You're starting to resent them. And guess what? They don't even notice. Why would they? You've taught them your time isn't worth respecting. You've taught them you'll wait no matter what. And every time you let it happen, that resentment builds, but so does their disrespect. Now let's flip it. Think about the people in your life you respect the most. The ones who command attention when they walk into a room. Do they say yes to everything? Do they let people waste their time or push them around? No way. They've got boundaries. They value themselves. They'll help you out, sure, but only if it fits their terms, their schedule, their priorities. They're not afraid to say, "Sorry, I can't do that," or "That doesn't work for me." And here's the kicker, you don't resent them for it. You respect them more because of it. Why? Because they respect themselves first. Why you keep saying yes? So why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep saying yes when every fiber of your being wants to scream no? It's fear. Fear of conflict. Fear of rejection. Fear that if you're not the nice one, the helpful one, people won't stick around. You've tied your worth to how much you can give, how much you can please others. And that's a lie you've been sold. A lie that's keeping you stuck. You think if you refuse, they'll be upset. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll even walk away. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Why am I fighting so hard to keep people who only value me when I'm useful? Let's get real for a second. Those people you're terrified of disappointing? They're not sitting around thinking about how great you are for saying yes. They're not losing sleep over your sacrifices. They're too busy living their own lives, taking what you give and moving on. Meanwhile, you're the one drained, frustrated, and wondering why no one seems to care. The truth is, they don't care because you've shown them they don't have to. You've made yourself a resource, not a person. Breaking the cycle. So how do you stop? How do you claw back the respect you've lost and start building a life where people see your worth? Starts with one word. No. That's it. No explanations, no guilt trips, no apologies. Just no. The next time someone asks you for something you don't want to do, something that feels like a burden, something that doesn't serve you, say it. No, I can't. No, that doesn't work for me. No, I've got other priorities. Watch their reaction. They might blink, they might push back, they might even get annoyed. But here's what else happens. They'll start rethinking how they see you. Saying no isn't about being rude or selfish, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about showing the world that your time matters, your energy matters, you matter. And yeah, it's uncomfortable at first. Your heart might race. You might second-guess yourself. That's normal. It's the fear trying to pull you back into the cycle. But push through it. Because every time you say no, you're not just setting a boundary, you're building respect. You're telling people, I'm not here to be your convenience. I'm here to be me. Start small if you have to. Say no to the little things, the extra errand, the last-minute favor, the plan you'd rather skip. Practice it. Get comfortable with it. And then scale up. Say no to the coworker dumping their work on you. Say no to the friend who only calls when they need something. Say no to the guilt that tries to creep in afterward. Because here's the secret. The people who truly respect you won't leave when you set boundaries. They'll value you more. And the ones who walk away, they were never worth keeping. The payoff. Now imagine this. A life where you're not exhausted from pleasing everyone. A life where people don't assume you'll drop everything for them. A life where you walk into a room and people notice. Not because you're loud or desperate, but because you carry yourself like someone who knows their worth. That's what happens when you stop being too nice. Respect doesn't come from being everyone's yes man. It comes from standing your ground. Ask yourself this. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you felt that knot in your stomach, that quiet frustration because you gave in again? This is your chance to change it. Stop bending over backwards. Stop letting fear dictate your choices. Start saying no. Start respecting yourself. Because when you do, something incredible happens. The world follows. People don't respect the pushover. They respect the person who knows when to say enough is enough. So take that first step today. Say no to something, anything, and watch how it feels. That's the beginning of a life where you're not just liked, but truly respected. 2. Talking too much. Picture this, you're in a conversation and someone's dominating it. They're rattling off story after story, jumping from one topic to the next, barely taking a breath. They interrupt you mid-sentence, overshare details you didn't ask for, and keep going like they're auditioning for a one-man show. At first, you try to listen out of politeness, maybe even curiosity, but after a while, it's just noise. You nod, you smile, but inside, you've checked out. Their words don't mean anything anymore. They're just filling the air. Now here's the gut punch. What if that person is you? What if you're the one talking too much, bleeding respect with every unnecessary word, and you don't even see it? Welcome to the second silent respect killer. Talking too much. It's a habit that feels harmless, maybe even impressive in the moment, but it's a slow poison to how people perceive you. You think you're being engaging, charming, or knowledgeable, but the truth is, the more you talk without purpose, the less anyone cares. You overwhelm, you exhaust, you dilute your own influence until you're nothing but background chatter. If you've ever wondered why people tune you out, why they avoid deep conversations with you, or why your presence doesn't carry the weight it should, this is it. Stick around, because we're breaking down why talking too much is torching your respect, and how to flip the script so people hang on your every word. The trap of over-talking. Let's start with the why. You talk too much because you want to be heard. You've got something to say, maybe it's a great idea, a funny story, or just a need to fill the silence. And you figure the more you say, the more impact you'll have. You interrupt because you're afraid your point will get lost. You overshare because you think it'll make people connect with you. And yeah, in small doses, talking can do all that. But cross the line into overdrive and it backfires hard. Instead of drawing people in, you push them away. Instead of commanding attention, you lose it entirely. Think about a time you've been stuck with someone who wouldn't stop. Maybe it's a coworker who rambles through every meeting, repeating the same point 3 different ways. Or a friend who turns a quick catch-up into a 2-hour monologue about their life. First, you're patient. You give them the benefit of the doubt. But 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, your mind's wandering. You're planning your grocery list, wondering how to escape. Anything but listening. Their words lose meaning because there's too many of them. And here's the brutal reality. When you're the one doing that, people feel the same way about you. They don't say it, they're too polite, but they're tuning you out, and with every word you pile on, your respect takes a hit. It's not just about quantity either, it's about quality. Oversharing is a killer too. Imagine meeting someone new, and within 10 minutes, they're spilling their whole life story. The messy breakup, the credit card debt, the argument with their mom. You don't feel closer to them, you feel awkward. You're thinking, why are they telling me this? Can I trust someone who unloads everything so fast? That's what happens when you talk too much. You strip away the mystery, the weight, the power of your words. You become predictable, unfiltered, and worst of all, forgettable. Why less is more? Now, contrast that with the people you respect most. The ones who walk into a room and everyone leans in. Do they ramble? Do they interrupt? Do they spill every thought that crosses their mind? No, they're deliberate. They speak when it matters, and when they do, it hits hard. They listen more than they talk, and that silence, it's magnetic. It's not because they're shy or don't have anything to say. It's because they know their words have value, and they don't waste them. When they open their mouth, you want to hear it because they've earned that attention. Take a second to think about a leader you admire, maybe a boss, a mentor, even a character from a movie. Are they the loudest in the room? Probably not. They're the ones who wait, who watch, who drop a single sentence that shifts everything. That's power. That's respect. And it comes from restraint, not excess. The less you say, the more people listen. The more you hold back, the more they wonder what you're thinking. Talking too much kills that. It's like handing out free samples until no one wants to buy the real thing. Your voice loses its worth because you've given it away too cheap. Let's get extreme for a moment. Picture 2 versions of yourself in a conversation. Version 1. You're talking nonstop, cutting people off, filling every pause with noise. You're so busy trying to be heard that you don't notice the glazed over eyes or the polite nods hiding boredom. People leave that talk thinking, man, they wouldn't shut up. Version 2. You're calm, you're quiet. You listen, you wait, and when you speak, it's sharp, it's purposeful. The room shifts. People turn to you. They leave thinking, I need to hear more from them. Which version gets respect? The answer's obvious. The oversharing trap. And then there's oversharing, talking too much's ugly cousin. You think opening up makes you relatable, but there's a limit. Spill too much too soon and it's not connection, it's discomfort. Ever had someone tell you their deepest secrets 5 minutes after meeting? It's not bonding. It's weird. You don't trust them more, you trust them less. Why? Because people who can't filter themselves seem unstable, like they're desperate for approval. Respect comes from boundaries, even in what you say. The most respected people don't lay everything bare. They reveal just enough to keep you intrigued, not enough to make you squirm. How to stop? So how do you break this habit? It's simple, but it's not easy. Shut up. Pause before you speak. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Does this add value? Am I just filling space? If the answer's no, don't say it. Practice silence. Let the other person talk. Listen, really listen, and watch how the dynamic shifts. People start seeking your input because you're not shoving it down their throats. And when you do speak, make it count. Cut the fluff. Say what you mean, then stop. Leave them wanting more, not begging for less. Next time you're tempted to ramble, try this. Count to 3 in your head before responding. It's a tiny trick, but it forces you to slow down, to think. You'll catch yourself before you spiral. And if you're an oversharer, set a rule. No personal bombshells unless you've known someone for at least a month. Build trust slowly. Respect follows when you show you've got control. Not just over your life, but over your mouth. The payoff. Imagine this, you're in a group and instead of dominating, you're listening. You drop one line, one good solid line, and heads turn. They're not rolling their eyes. They're nodding. They're asking you questions. You've gone from noise to signal, from ignored to respected. That's what happens when you talk less and say more. So stop drowning people in words. Start commanding their attention with silence. It's not about being quiet. It's about being powerful. 3. Seeking approval. Ever catch yourself freezing before a decision? You've got a choice to make, big or small. And instead of trusting your gut, you're scanning the room, waiting for someone to nod, to say, yeah, that's fine. You ask, is this okay? Should I do this? You second-guess every move, fishing for reassurance like it's oxygen. At first, it feels harmless, maybe even smart. Who doesn't want a little feedback? But here's the brutal truth. The more you seek approval, the weaker you look. You're not just asking for advice. You're screaming, I don't trust myself. And if you don't trust yourself, why the hell should anyone else? This is the 3rd respect destroyer. Seeking approval. It's a habit that chips away at your confidence, your independence, your power, until people stop seeing you as a leader and start seeing you as a follower. You think you're being careful, collaborative, likable, but you're really just handing your worth to someone else to stamp. If you've ever felt stuck, small, or dismissed despite your potential, this is why. We're diving into how seeking approval is killing your respect, and how to break free so you can stand tall, decide with guts, and own your life. The approval trap. Let's break it down. You seek approval because you're scared of screwing up. You want the green light from someone, anyone, because it feels safer. If they say yes, you're covered. If it goes wrong, it's not all on you. Maybe it's a boss you ask before every step, a friend you run every plan by, or even a stranger's opinion you chase online. You hesitate, you waver, you wait, all because you've convinced yourself you need permission to move. But here's what you don't see. Every time you do that, you're telling the world you're not enough on your own. Think about this. You're picking out a shirt, and instead of going with what you like, you text a friend, does this look good? Or you've got an idea at work, but you don't pitch it until you've asked 3 people if it's worth saying. Small stuff, right? But it adds up. People notice. They see you as indecisive, shaky, dependent. They don't say it out loud, most won't, but they feel it. And over time, that feeling turns into a quiet loss of respect. You're not the one they turn to for answers. You're the one they have to babysit. Now let's take it deeper. This isn't just about shirts or ideas. It's about your whole life. Seeking approval keeps you small. You don't take risks because you're waiting for someone to say it's okay. You don't chase dreams because you're scared of what people will think. You don't lead because you're too busy following. You're handing your power to everyone else and they don't even want it, they just take it because you keep giving it away. The confidence gap. Look at the people you respect. The ones who inspire you, who make you think, I want to be like that. Are they the ones hesitating at every turn, asking, is this good enough? Hell no. They decide. They act. They own it, win or lose. They're not perfect, they mess up plenty. But they don't wait for a pat on the back to keep going. That's confidence. That's strength. That's respect. And it doesn't come from being right all the time. It comes from having the balls to choose and stand by it. Compare that to the approval seeker. They're stuck in limbo, paralyzed by what-ifs. What if they don't like it? What if I fail? What if they judge me? So they ask, they check, they double-check until the moment's gone and someone else steps up. And every time that happens, people see them as less capable, less sure, less worthy. You don't respect someone who can't stand on their own 2 feet. You respect the one who walks forward, even if they stumble. The extreme stakes. Let's go extreme. Imagine 2 paths. Path 1, you're always waiting. You don't start that business because no one's cheering you on. You don't move to that city because your family might disapprove. You don't speak your mind because you're scared of the pushback. You live safe, small, validated, but stagnant. No growth, no risk, no respect. Path 2, you trust yourself. You launch the idea, you make the move, you say what you think, and you don't look back. Some hate it, some love it, but everyone notices. You fail sometimes, big, messy fails, but you learn, you adapt, you rise. Which path gets you respect? The one where you own your life, not the one where you rent it from someone else's opinion. Why you do it? So why are you stuck seeking approval? It's fear again. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of standing alone. You've tied your value to what others think, and untangling that feels terrifying. What if you decide and it's wrong? What if they laugh? What if you lose them? But here's the kicker. The people you're trying to impress? They're not obsessing over you. They're too busy with their own crap to care as much as you think. You're losing sleep over opinions that don't even exist half the time. How to stop? Breaking this habit starts with one thing, deciding. Pick something, anything, and go with it. No asking, no polling, no safety net. Start small if you need to. Choose your lunch without texting a friend. Pick a movie without checking reviews. Then scale it up. Pitch that idea at work without running it by anyone. Say no to something you'd normally cave on. Feel the fear, then do it anyway. You'll screw up sometimes, welcome to being human, but you'll learn to trust yourself. And that trust? It's the root of respect. Next time you catch yourself asking, is this okay? Stop. Flip the question, do I think this is okay? If the answer's yes, roll with it. If it's no, don't. You don't need a committee to live your life. And yeah, people might push back. They're used to you bending. But stand firm and they'll adjust or they'll leave. Either way, you win. Because the only approval that matters is the one you give yourself. The payoff. Imagine this, you walk into a room, and you're not scanning for nods. You decide, you speak, you act, and people listen, not because you begged for it, but because you earned it. You're not the hesitant shadow anymore. You're the one they look to. That's what happens when you stop seeking approval. Respect doesn't come from permission, it comes from power. So stop waiting. Start choosing. Own your life, and watch how fast the world catches up. 4. Not keeping promises. Imagine this. You're in a pinch. Maybe you're swamped at work, or something's gone sideways in your personal life, and someone steps up. They look you dead in the eye and say, I've got you. I'll be there. You breathe a sigh of relief, trusting them to come through. But when the moment arrives, nothing. No call, no text, no show, just silence. How do you feel? Let down? Angry? Betrayed? One thing's for damn sure. Your respect for that person just took a nosedive. Now flip the script. What if you're the one breaking that promise? What if you're the one leaving people hanging, chipping away at their trust without even clocking it? This is the 4th respect killer. Not keeping promises. It's a habit that seems small in the moment. A missed deadline, a forgotten favor, a casual, I'll get to it, that never happens. But it's a wrecking ball to your credibility. Respect isn't built on good intentions. It's forged in reliability. Break your word even once, and you plant a seed of doubt that grows like wildfire. People start wondering, can I count on them? Will they actually do what they say? If this hits home, if you've ever flaked and brushed it off, stick around. We're diving into why failing to follow through is torching your respect and how to become the kind of person whose word is ironclad. The trust domino effect. Let's get real, trust is everything. It's the foundation of every relationship. Friends, family, co-workers, even strangers. And trust? It's built on one thing: consistency. When you say you'll do something and you deliver, people lean on you. They rely on you. They respect you. But the second you break that promise, the whole damn thing wobbles. It's not just about that one letdown, it's about what it signals. If you can't keep your word on the small stuff, why should anyone trust you with the big stuff? That doubt lingers, and once it's there, it's a beast to uproot. Picture this. You tell a friend you'll help them move on Saturday. They're counting on you, rented the truck, packed the boxes, the whole deal. But Friday night rolls around, you're tired, and you text, "Sorry, something came up." They scramble, they manage, but next time they need help, you're not the call they make. Why? Because you showed them your words flimsy. Or maybe it's work. You promise your boss a report by Monday, but it's Wednesday, and it's still half done. They don't yell, they don't fire you, but they stop giving you the important projects. That's the cost. One broken promise, and people rewrite how they see you. Here's the brutal part. They don't always tell you. They might smile, say it's fine, let it slide, but inside, they've marked you as unreliable. That seed of doubt sprouts, and every time you say, "I'll handle it," they're thinking, will they though? Respect evaporates when trust does, and trust dies the moment your actions don't match your words. Why you break promises? So why do you do it? Maybe you overpromise, say yes to too much because you don't want to disappoint. Maybe you're disorganized, letting stuff slip through the cracks. Or maybe you just don't take it seriously, thinking, it's not a big deal, they'll get over it. But here's the truth. It is a big deal. Every promise, no matter how small, is a contract. You're staking your reputation on it. Blow it off and you're not just letting them down, you're trashing your own credibility. Let's take it extreme. Imagine two versions of you. Version 1, you're rock solid. You say you'll be somewhere at 10 a.m. You're there at 9:55. You promise a favor, it's done before they even ask twice. People know if you commit, it's as good as gold. They trust you with their time, their plans, their secrets, because you've never given them a reason not to. Version 2, you're flaky. You say you'll call, but you don't. You promise help, then ghost. Excuses pile up. I forgot. I got busy. Something came up. And people stop counting on you. They still talk to you, sure, but they don't rely on you. Which version gets respect? The one who shows up every damn time. The long-term damage. Here's where it gets ugly. Breaking promises doesn't just hurt the moment. It brands you. You become that person. The one who's nice but unreliable. The one they don't call when it matters. You might not see it right away. People are too polite to call you out, but it's there. Your boss picks someone else for the promotion. Your friends lean on someone steadier. Your word loses weight, and once that's gone, respect's a ghost. You can apologize, you can try to fix it, but the memory sticks. They'll forgive, maybe, but they won't forget. Think about someone who's let you down. Maybe they swore they'd be there for something big. A birthday, a crisis, and they bailed. You moved on. But do you trust them the same? Do you respect them like you did? Probably not. That's the mirror you need to hold up. Every time you break a promise, you're doing that to someone else and to yourself. How to fix it? So how do you stop? It's simple, but it takes guts. Only promise what you can deliver, and then deliver it. No excuses, no half measures. If you say you'll do something, do it, rain, shine, or hell freezing over. Start by being honest. Can't make it? Don't say you will. Not sure you can finish? Don't commit. It's better to say, I can't right now, than to flake later. People respect the no more than the broken yes. Next, get your act together. Write it down, set reminders, plan ahead, whatever it takes to follow through. Treat every promise like it's life or death because in a way it's your reputation on the line. And if you slip, own it, apologize, fix it, and don't let it happen again. Consistency is your currency. Stack enough kept promises, and people won't just trust you, they'll admire you. The payoff. Imagine this, you're the one people count on. Your word's a bond, when you say it, it's done. Friends call you in a crisis because they know you'll show. Your boss hands you the big stuff because you've never let them down. That's respect, built brick by brick through reliability. So stop promising what you can't give. Start being the person whose yes means yes. Your reputation's only as strong as your follow-through. Make it unbreakable. 5. Acting desperate for attention. Ever met someone who can't stand being ignored? They're the loudest in the room, cracking jokes that don't land, bragging about their wins, or fishing for compliments like it's a sport. They'll interrupt, exaggerate, do anything to keep the spotlight on them. At first, you might laugh, maybe even play along, but soon, it's exhausting. Their desperation seeps through, and instead of impressing you, they push you away. Now here's the hard truth. If you've ever chased attention like that, you're doing the same damn thing and it's costing you respect. This is the 5th respect destroyer. Acting desperate for attention. It's a habit that screams insecurity, and people can smell it a mile away. You think you're shining, but you're begging. You think you're winning, but you're losing big time. True confidence doesn't need a megaphone. It just is. If you've ever felt the urge to prove yourself, to shout your worth from the rooftops, this is your wake-up call. We're breaking down why chasing attention is tanking your respect and how to stop so you can attract it naturally. The attention game. Let's start here. You crave attention because you want to be seen. You've got something to offer. Smarts, humor, success. And you're terrified it'll go unnoticed. So you push. You talk louder, you name drop, you stretch the truth, all to make sure people don't miss you. And yeah, it works for about 5 seconds. They look, they nod, maybe they clap. But then what? The shine fades, and they're left with the aftertaste of your neediness. You didn't earn their respect. You borrowed their eyes, and they'll resent you for it. Think about that guy at the party. The one who won't stop talking about his new car, his big raise, his crazy weekend. First, you're curious. But 10 minutes in, you're dodging him. He's not confident, he's desperate. Or the coworker who hijacks every meeting with their amazing ideas, even when they're half-baked. They're not leading, they're pleading. That's what chasing attention does. It flips the script. Instead of drawing people in, you turn them off. Respect doesn't come from forcing eyes on you. It comes from letting your value speak for itself. The insecurity signal. Here's why it fails. Desperation is insecurity in disguise. When you boast, you're not saying, "I'm great." You're saying, "Please tell me I'm great." When you fish for praise, you're not secure, you're shaky. People sense that. They don't admire the loudmouth. They pity them. Think about history's heavy hitters, leaders, icons, legends. Did they beg for attention? No. They acted, they built, they stood firm, and the world noticed. Attention chased them, not the other way around. The ones screaming for it? They're forgotten because neediness doesn't stick. Let's go extreme. Picture 2 people. One's always on, posting every win online, humble bragging in every chat, jumping into conversations just to redirect the focus. They're exhausting and people dodge them. The other's quiet. They do their thing, crush it, and let the results talk. They don't announce their strength. They show it. Who gets respect? The one who doesn't need to beg for it. Why you chase it? So why do you do it? It's doubt. You're not sure you're enough, so you overcompensate. You think if you don't shout, you'll disappear. Maybe you grew up overlooked, or you're surrounded by louder voices, and now you're fighting to be heard. But here's the twist. The harder you fight, the less you win. Attention grabbed is temporary. Attention earned lasts. How to stop? Breaking this starts with silence. Stop announcing your every move. Did something great? Let it breathe, people will notice if it's real. Resist the urge to brag, to interrupt, to steer every moment back to you. Ask yourself, why do I need this? Am I enough without it? If the answer's yes, act like it. Confidence isn't loud. It's steady. Focus on doing, not saying. Help someone without posting about it. Win without a press release. Be so solid that people can't ignore you even if you tried. The payoff. Imagine this, you're not chasing anymore. You walk in, you do you, and heads turn. Not because you demanded it, but because you're undeniable. That's respect. It's not forced. It's magnetic. So drop the act. Stop begging for eyes. Be great and let the world catch up. True attention doesn't need a spotlight, it just shines. 6. Avoiding responsibility. Imagine this. Something goes wrong. Maybe a project tanks, a deadline's missed, or a plan falls apart. And there you are, pointing fingers faster than a kid caught with a broken vase. It's not my fault, you say. My boss didn't explain it right. The team screwed up. The timing was off. Life's unfair. You've got an excuse for everything. A reason why it's always someone else's mess. Never yours. Sounds familiar? If you've ever dodged the blame instead of owning it, you're not just dodging a bullet, you're shooting yourself in the foot. People see through that crap, and every time you duck responsibility, your respect takes a hit. This is the 6th respect killer. Avoiding responsibility. It's the habit of playing the victim, of shirking the hard truth that sometimes, maybe a lot of times, you're the one who dropped the ball. Life's messy, sure, and yeah, bad stuff happens that's out of your control. But here's the deal. The weak make excuses. The strong take ownership. Respect doesn't go to the guy who's always got a scapegoat, it goes to the one who steps up, even when it stings. If you've ever wondered why people don't take you seriously, why they don't trust you with the big stuff, this is it. Stick around, we're digging into why dodging responsibility is tanking your life and how to flip it so you're the one they admire, not pity. The victim mindset. Let's break it down. You avoid responsibility because it's easier. Owning up means facing failure, admitting you're not perfect, swallowing some pride, and that's tough. So instead, you deflect. You blame the economy for your stalled career. You blame your friend for that fight you both fueled. You blame bad luck for the choices you didn't make. Feels good in the moment, like you've dodged the heat, but here's the catch. Every time you do it, you're painting yourself as powerless. And nobody respects powerless. Think about someone you know who's always got an excuse. Maybe it's that coworker who misses every deadline but swears it's because the system's broken or no one told me. Maybe it's a friend who's stuck in the same rut, whining about how the world's against them. At first, you sympathize, life can be unfair. But after a while, it's exhausting. You stop buying it. You stop seeing them as capable. They're not a player in their own story anymore, they're a bystander, and respect doesn't stick to bystanders. Now flip it. Think about someone you admire. When they fail, do they shrug and say, "Not my problem"? No, they own it. They say, "I messed up. Here's how I fix it." They don't grovel or grope for pity. They analyze, adapt, and move forward. That's strength. That's why you respect them. Because even when they lose, they're still in charge. The cost of dodging. Here's where it gets brutal. Avoiding responsibility doesn't just dodge the blame. It freezes you. If nothing's ever your fault, there's nothing to fix, right? So you don't grow. You don't learn. You stay stuck, spinning the same tired story while everyone else moves on. People notice that too. They see you as weak, unreliable, someone who can't handle the heat. You're not the one they call when shit hits the fan. You're the one they tiptoe around because they know you'll crumble or deflect. Let's go extreme. Picture two people losing their jobs. Person 1. They rant about the stupid company, the crappy economy, the unfair boss. They sit home, stewing, waiting for someone to hand them a fix. Person 2. They take a hit, then take stock. What did I miss? What can I do better? They hit the ground running, new skills, new plans, new hustle. Months later, person 1's still complaining. Person 2's back on their feet. Who do you respect? The one who owned it, not the one who whined. Why you dodge? So why do you do it? Fear again. Fear of looking bad, of feeling small, of admitting you're human. Maybe you grew up where blame was a game. Someone always had to take the fall and you learned to duck. Or maybe you're just scared that if you own it, people will judge you. But here's the twist. They're judging you more when you don't. Excuses don't shield you, they expose you. They scream, "I can't handle this," louder than any failure ever could. How to stop? Breaking this habit starts with one word: mine. When something goes south, say it. This is mine. Not "they screwed me." Not "it's the weather." Just "I dropped it." It's not about beating yourself up. It's about taking the wheel. Step 1. Stop mid-excuse. Catch yourself when you start spinning the blame and shut it down. Step 2. Own it out loud. Tell your boss, "I missed the mark. I'll fix it." Tell your friend, "I messed up, sorry." Step 3. Act. Fix what you can, learn what you can't, and move on. People don't respect perfection. They respect accountability. Start small if you have to. Spilled coffee? My bad. I wasn't paying attention. Late to meet someone? I didn't plan right. Won't happen again. Then scale it. Take the hit on a failed project. Admit you could have pushed harder on a goal. It'll sting at first, your ego will hate it, but that stings the sound of respect growing. Because when you own your failures, you own your power. The payoff. Imagine this: you're the one people trust, not because you're flawless, but because you're real. You screw up, you say it, you fix it, and they know they can count on you, win or lose. That's respect. It's not about never falling. It's about standing up every time you do. So stop blaming. Start owning. You're not a victim, you're unstoppable. 7. Letting people disrespect you. Picture this. Someone cuts you off mid-sentence and you let it slide. They crack a joke that stings, and you fake a laugh. They borrow your time, your energy, your kindness, and give nothing back. And you keep giving anyway. Sound familiar? If you've ever swallowed disrespect because you didn't want the smoke, you're not just keeping the peace, you're handing over your dignity. People treat you how you let them, and every time you tolerate crap, you're telling the world, "Go ahead, I don't mind." Spoiler: they'll keep doing it and your respect will keep shrinking. This is the 7th respect killer. Letting people disrespect you. It's the habit of staying silent when you should speak, of bending when you should stand, of valuing nice over worthy. Respect isn't a gift. It's a fight, and if you don't claim it, no one's handing it over. If you've ever felt walked over, used, or invisible despite everything you do, this is why. We're diving into how tolerating disrespect is trashing your life and how to set boundaries so tight people either step up or step out. The doormat dynamic. Let's get honest. People push because you let them. That coworker who steals your ideas? They keep doing it because you don't call it out. That friend who flakes but expects you to jump when they call? They're comfy because you've never said no. That family member who cuts you down for your own good? They thrive on your silence. You think you're being kind, avoiding conflict, keeping things smooth, but you're not. You're training them to see you as less valuable, less human, less worthy of respect. Think about it. If someone insults you and you grin through it, what's the message? That's okay, try it again. If they take your time and you don't push back, it's "my needs don't matter." You're not peacekeeping, you're surrendering. And here's the brutal part. They don't even feel bad. Why would they? You've green-lit it. People don't respect what they can trample. And when you let them, you become the dirt under their shoes. The ripple effect. It's not just one-off moments, it spreads. Let one person disrespect you and others catch on. It's like a signal. This one's fair game. At work, that colleague who interrupts you gets bolder, and soon the whole team's talking over you. In life, that friend who uses you sets the tone, and suddenly you're everyone's go-to for favors, never their equal. You're not a person anymore, you're a resource. And respect is gone because you didn't demand it. Let's go extreme. Imagine you're at a meeting, and someone dismisses your idea with a smirk. You say nothing. Next time, they take credit for it. Still nothing. Soon, you're the ghost in the room, there but unseen. Or picture a relationship. They mock you, you laugh it off. They ignore your needs, you let it slide. Before long, you're begging for scraps of decency while they walk all over you. That's the cost of tolerance. It's not peace, it's erasure. Why you allow it? So why do you let it happen? Fear again. fear of confrontation, of losing people, of being that guy who rocks the boat. Maybe you think standing up means being mean, or that if you push back, they'll leave. But here's the truth. If they leave over you demanding respect, they were never worth keeping. You're not here to be everyone's punching bag. You're here to be you, and that means drawing lines. How to stop? Breaking this starts with one move. Say no. Not a meek, maybe not a firm, clear no. Someone cuts you off? I wasn't done. Let me finish. They mock you? That's not funny. Don't do it again. They take too much? I'm not okay with this. It stops now. It's not about yelling, it's about standing. Set the boundary, hold it, and don't flinch. They'll test it, people always do, but stay solid. They'll either respect it or walk. Either way, you're free. Start small if you need to. Next time someone interrupts, pause them. Hold on. I'm still talking. Next time they push a favor you don't want. No, I can't this time. Then scale it. Call out the coworker who undermines you. Drop the friend who only takes. Walk away from anyone who thinks your worth's negotiable. It'll feel weird, maybe scary, but that's your power waking up. The payoff. Imagine this, you're not a doormat anymore. You speak and they listen. You set a line and they don't cross it. People don't just see you, they value you because you value yourself. That's respect, earned through backbone, not begging. So stop letting them walk over you. Stand up, draw the line, and watch the world adjust. You're not here to be tolerated, you're here to be reckoned with. So there you have it, 7 silent destroyers of respect that could be running your life right now. Being too nice turns you into a doormat. Talking too much makes you noise instead of signal. Seeking approval hands your power away. Breaking promises shatters your trust. Chasing attention reeks of insecurity. Dodging responsibility paints you weak. And letting disrespect slide erases your worth. These habits don't scream. They whisper, chipping away at how people see you until you're left wondering why you're overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed. But here's the good news. You can stop them. Right now. Today. This isn't about perfection. It's about power. Respect isn't some gift the world owes you. It's a fire you build, brick by brick, through how you act, what you say, and what you won't tolerate. Stop saying yes when you mean no. Speak less but make it count. Decide without begging for a nod. Keep your word like it's carved in stone. Let your actions shine, not your mouth. Own your failures and rise stronger. And never, never let anyone treat you like you're less than you are. You do that and people won't just notice you, they'll look up to you. You'll walk into a room and the air will shift, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. This is your wake-up call, your chance to rewrite the script. These habits have held you back long enough. Now it's time to break them. Start small, start messy, but start. Because the life you want, the respect you deserve, it's not waiting for permission. It's waiting for you to claim it. So what's it gonna be? Stay stuck or step up? The choice is yours, and deep down you already know the answer. And hey, before you go, I've got to say this. Thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single one of you at ZenLight 8 who stuck with me through this whole video. You didn't just click play, you stayed, you listened, you gave me your time, and that means everything. This channel's nothing without you. Your support, your energy, your willingness to dig into the tough stuff and grow. You're the reason I'm here, pouring my soul into this. And I'm so damn grateful for every second you've spent with me. If this hit you, if it sparked something, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments which of these habits you're ready to kick to the curb. Let's keep this going together. You're not just viewers, you're the ZenLight 8 crew, and I'm honored to have you along for the ride. See you in the next one. Stay strong, stay real, and start building that respect today.